be able to simplify and transfer. You know, when you're growing like us, not like you got to put a different cap on, right? Because y'all don't grow, right? I mean, but when you grow like us, you know, you've got to be able to simplify and be able to transfer your message out there, right? If you're going to continue, and then you got to be able to multiply. See, we didn't have no presentation. We didn't have no pretty pictures, any brochures. All we had was a piece of typing paper or a scratch pad. But you know what? You know, Angela is a great artist. I mean, that to me is the most amazing talent. If somebody take a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper, and some watercolors or something, and paint a portrait of somebody, or paint a picture of a tree. That's the damnedest thing, because I can't do nothing, you know. But I can paint a picture about Trash Value Life Insurance like you can't believe. We came up, let me show it to you. I ain't done this in years now. Let me show it to you. Okay, we had a concept today. That's the way we gave a presentation. See, and you know how long it takes you to learn this stuff? Maybe 7 minutes. 7 minutes. You got to simplify it, right? Okay, so anyway, we came up with a concept at A.O. Williams called split funding. And let's say you got $100 to pay for your insurance and savings program. You can go buy a trash value policy. All right, you pay for two things, but you only get one. Now just see how brilliant this is. Now see, that the client understands that language, ain't that right? You pay for two things, you only get one. So with any kind of cash value policy, I don't care what we call a whole life endowment, 20-pay life, it don't matter, okay? If you pay $100, you get two things. If you get, let's say, a $100,000 life insurance policy, and true to their word, anytime you die, they're going to pay you $100,000. But you also get a cash value program, a great savings program, right? The first year, you make nothing. The Federal Trade Commission said after 20 years, you get 1.2%. If you want to borrow, hey, think how brilliant this is. Some actuary at Prudential figured out this deal, okay? They got a savings program that if you want your money, they charge you to borrow your own money. They charge you 7% to borrow your own money. And listen to this brilliant thing, right? If you die, you lose it. What kind of savings program is that? Okay, so if you figure a whole life policy, your cash value is worth about 50% of the face amount, $50,000. Now, we came up with a better way. We call ours buy term and invest the difference. We separate your insurance and investment. You pay for two things and you get two. So with $100, you put $20 into a life insurance program, and we give you a $100,000 policy, and just like Prudential, anytime you die, you get $100,000. Ain't that something? But then you put $80 into a mutual fund. Hey, you know what? When I was coaching, putting $50 a month or $100 a month in my teacher's credit union, making 2%, I didn't even know there was such a thing as a mutual fund. That you could put $100 or $50 in something, and you could have professional money managers manage your money. You could have research departments figuring out who's screwing you, like Citigroup and all these other good companies out there, right? Ain't that something? And so we took $80, didn't have an IRA back then. And so if you take any 10-year period of time, they average 10%. You pay nothing to borrow your own money. You want your money, you just write to the company and tell them to send you your own money, right? And instead of having, then later on when you get an IRA, then you get to write it off your taxes. You know what that means? Do y'all sell IRAs out there? Okay, if you make $50,000 and you put $5,000 into an IRA, then you only pay tax on $45,000. That's a pretty good deal, right? Hey, you know what? You know what? The only investment in the world that doesn't qualify for an IRA is Trash Value Life Insurance. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? I mean, I loved it more than I can tell you. Just, and then you know what else? It accumulates tax deferred. It accumulates tax deferred. Okay, so anyway, so then you're going to add another 20% or 30% or 15% onto your, ain't that right? Right? And so instead of having $50,000, you're going to have $325,000. Hey, is that brilliant? Now don't clap, don't clap. Is that brilliant? Is that better than what y'all use at where Primerica? Is that what you call yourself? Is that? Is that unbelievable? See, to create this explosive growth, you gotta have the ability. Now, when you get big, you gotta have the ability, and the bigger you get, it's more important. You gotta have the ability to simplify the complicated. See, I can explain to a new recruit the whole A.O. Williams system on one page, 9 simple steps. I can take a new recruit, and I can teach him the whole A.O. Williams system in 30 minutes. Now, the company also has to have the ability to simplify the complicated. See, most companies lose because they're like the federal government. They ain't worth a damn and nothing, you know? They're just a big old bureaucracy. Can't do anything efficient.
We thought you're supposed to be more efficient, you know? We thought the consumer was interested in saving money, right? They weren't interested in making Prudential a household name, floating that rock down the river, right? They weren't interested in these insurance agents having these big offices and all this crap, right? They were interested in what they gonna get out of this deal for their families, right? See, we streamlined this business. See, you go get a life insurance rate book with a typical company, it's this thick. This is Prudential's rate book.
Now, you know, I've told you that these rate books are an inch thick, right? I know some of you say, oh, you know, you always exaggerate, because I believe in exaggerating, right? I don't believe in lying, right? But salespeople got, in fact, exaggerating ain't a good, I don't believe in exaggerating either, right? Because that's almost a lie, right? What I believe in is dramatizing, right? Right? So I tell people, I say, look, these people go out there with these rate books 1 inch thick. Y'all heard me say that, right? And ours is 1 page thick, right? And y'all say, oh, that's a lie. So I brought my ruler, okay? And I got Prudential's 1985 rate book. Hey, that's August 1985. I measured that baby last night, okay? Well, look at that. It's exactly 1 inch thick. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Hey. They had 3 different kind of series of products. They had the Gibraltar series, Modified Life 3, Modified Life 5. The Modified 25-10 Life paid up at 65. They got the Economatic Life Whole Life, Life paid up at 90, Life paid up at 85, Life paid up at 65, 20-year pay life, 10-year pay life, co-life, joint whole life. Then you get to the state series. You know, I don't know how they decide which one you fit in out there, right? Probably has something to do with commission.
If you don't like the Gibraltar series, they got the state series. They got Modified Life 5, Citation 50, Life paid up at 90, Professional 50, Modified 2, Life paid up at 85. Modified Life 3, Modified Life 5, Modified Life 10, Graded Premium Whole Life. They got the abbreviator, Modified Life 21, Increasing Premium Life paid up at 90. Modified 25, 10 Life paid up at 85. Estate 25 Whole Life, Economatic Low Life. Life paid up at 90, Life paid up at 85, 20-year pay life, 10-year pay life, co-life, joint whole life. Now, if you don't like the Gibraltar series and you don't like the state series, they got the Pruco series. They got variable life waiver premium, appreciable life waiver premium, appreciable life level death benefit. You got variable appreciable life.
You got level term riders, decreasing term riders.
Variable appreciable life waiver premium.
Hey, right? Huh? You know what? This is A.O. Williams' rate book. Isn't that unbelievable, folks?
See, you can't take that and beat that out there across the kitchen table, right?
1 page. Do you know, not only is Trash Value the lousiest investment product ever created by the minds of a human scum-sucking dog, right? Right? But you know what's lower than the person that created that product? The person that would own term insurance and sell that shit to somebody, right? Ain't that right? And do you know what? 90% of those jokers own term insurance and sold that crowd, right? We sold one product, the best product we had, the product we own on our own life all the time.
It ain't no smoke and mirrors. It ain't no tricks and gimmicks. See, we dominated this industry because our competition couldn't sell life insurance as cheap as us across the kitchen table.
See, here's the front of the rate book, see? And you got all the introduction, all that crap, and then you got that's what I just read from you, all the policies, right? And then you get into all the different kind of policies, Gibraltar, all that kind of stuff, right? Now, what would you think they'd have over in the back? No, what would you think they'd have? Term, right? I mean, if you look way over here in the back of the book and you pull this out, that's term. And there's another little term. Isn't that something? This is the rate book for annually increasing premium term to 95. Isn't that unbelievable, folks? Hey, any doubt in your mind out there we gonna win? If you're going to win, build an empire, you've got to have the ability to simplify and transfer, right? That's what we did. See, I learned that coaching. You know what? When I got my first head coaching job, I was supposed to be an offensive whiz-bang guy. And I had a playbook about this thick. And I had a manager. I called every play, my 5 years as a head coach. And I had a manager tag along with me, and he'd put down the down at 1st and 10 and the play that I'd run. And I got home after my first game studying the plays I called. I said, wow, I only run 4, 5, or 6 plays. And I got 40 plays that I'm practicing. That ain't too smart, right? And so what I did, for you non-football people, is I said, wow. So I started practicing the plays I run. And what I did is I got my play was fullback over strong tackle. I had a stud here that was defensive captain of the Georgia team. He'd kill that tackle. I had a stud here that would kill that defensive end. I had a triple stud here at the University of Georgia, and I'd run fullback over strong tackle. And then what I'd do is I'd watch this linebacker here, and if he started inching over here, then I'd run a trap back here. And then if the outside linebacker started moving up, then what I'd do is I'd run fullback over strong tackle pass, flip that guy out in the flat. Or then I'd run a bootleg. I had 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 different things I did. And what I did, this was so, I mean, I don't want y'all to think I'm a genius, but in this business, I'm a genius. You understand? I'm a genius. Now look, so what I did is I would go out and I would get in this set, and I'd run fullback over strong tackle, okay? And then so what I did to confuse the defense is I would just change the formation. I'd put the wide receiver from here out here, and I'd still run fullback over strong tackle. Or I would move this guy in here, right? And I'd have about 20 different formations. But I was running the same old crowd. But nobody ever figured that out in my 5 years as head coach.